Ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing a bombshell revelation causing waves not only in the United States but also worldwide. President of the International Longshoremen's Association, Harold Daggett, recently made a statement with possible repercussions for the whole world economy. We are discussing possible disturbances that might affect anything from the vehicles we drive to the clothes we wear. Let's first consider what this all means and why the world is in shock before we delve into Daggett's warning specifics. Make sure to subscribe to stay updated on U.S. news.
He was charged with a RICO conspiracy, but he was found not guilty, to be clear. But, this brings into question somebody.
This statement made by Daggett brings to light the significant part that dock workers and the shipping industry play in the supply chain that spans the entire world. It's not an exaggeration to say that these channels are responsible for the delivery of virtually every product that we rely on, from food to electronics. Should those channels be obstructed or slowed down, the consequences will be felt all over the world. When you think back to the panic that occurred during the pandemic due to shortages in the supply chain, you realize that this could make that situation look like a dress rehearsal. However, the magnitude of the potential damage that could be caused by this strike is what makes it so shocking. We are talking about tens of thousands of dock workers who ensure that the products that we frequently take for granted make it to our homes and stores. They are responsible for loading and unloading ships, keeping the flow of goods around the world at a steady pace. Based on the announcement made by Harold Daggett, it is clear that they are prepared to show their strength, and this strength is strong enough to bring economies to their knees. This is not just a threat to the shores of the United States. The entire economy of the world is completely interconnected. The delay of goods that are destined for Europe, Asia, and other regions can be caused by a single disruption at a major port in the United States. On the other hand, the longshoremen's strike has the potential to bring entire industries to a complete and utter halt, from raw materials to consumer goods.
He's got a $2.4 million home, Sparta, New Jersey. He's got a Bentley, which he's been known to drive around.
He's obviously speaking for the union workers who make, what'd you say, $81,000 a year, but for the boss to be making almost $1 million.
The manner in which Daggett is speaking here is hostile, but it is also a stern warning. The power that his employees possess is not lost on him. It is not simply a matter of slowing down business. Rather, it is with the intention of demonstrating the true power that the longshoremen possess. If the flow of the logistics industry is interrupted, it has the potential to cause significant economic damage. This industry is comparable to the bloodstream of modern commerce. This is not a threat that is made in vain, and it is abundantly clear that Daggett has faith in the collective power of his employees.
Because we won't see the repercussions of it for the next couple of weeks. But the situation involving the longshoremen, the international longshoremen strike, is starting to go hot right now.
Currently, there is an additional facet to this narrative. There are some people who are questioning Daggett's motivations and his personal lifestyle, despite the fact that his warnings are powerful and justified. It has been reported that he leads a lavish lifestyle, which includes having luxury homes, a Bentley, and a salary that is close to $1 million. Some critics are questioning whether someone who lives such a luxurious lifestyle can truly advocate for the average dock worker who earns $81,000 per year, despite the fact that his leadership has undeniably been strong for the union. However, here is the thing. Regardless of how you feel about Daggett's personal wealth, the reality of the problems that his employees face is not altered by this fact. The wages of dock workers, like those of many other blue-collar workers, have remained unchanged despite the fact that their industry's profits have increased. Although the criticism of Daggett's lifestyle is a topic that garners a lot of attention, it is actually a distraction from the larger economic tension that exists between workers and the profits of corporations. Disputes in the workplace are always made more complicated by the dynamic that exists between workers and leadership. On the one hand, there are individuals such as Daggett who, despite the fact that they are living a comfortable life, are fighting for the greater worker population. On the other hand, it is simple for critics to take advantage of his wealth and accuse him of being disconnected from the struggles that those who work in the workforce face on a daily basis. But the question that we ought to be asking is whether or not the wealth of the leadership undermines the legitimacy of the cause that they are fighting for. To some, the answer is no. As a result of the weight of their responsibilities, labor leaders frequently succeed in achieving significant salaries. For the benefit of thousands, if not tens of thousands of workers, they are currently engaged in negotiations. The fact remains that the issues that Daggett is fighting for, better wages, safer working conditions, and a fair share of the industry's massive profits, are as relevant as they have ever been. This is true regardless of whether or not Daggett drives a Bentley.
Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier?
Things are about to become even more intense at this point. When the Taft-Hartley Act is brought up, it opens the door to the possibility that the government could step in and temporarily compel workers to return to their jobs. Nevertheless, Daggett's response is chilling because he is not merely warning about a strike. Rather, he is talking about the possibility of a slowdown, even if workers are forced to return to work. Consider a scenario in which the workers show up, but they purposefully slow down the flow of goods throughout the facility. Their collective power can still wreak havoc on supply chains even when they are forced to do so, as demonstrated by this strategic move that is designed to demonstrate this. Not only does this strategy cause disruptions in the business world, but it also conveys a message to representatives in government. If the administration of Vice President Joe Biden or Congress makes an effort to intervene, it is possible that they will not be able to prevent the economic fallout. As a result, we have arrived at the crux of the matter, which is that this strike is politically motivated in addition to being economically motivated. The Biden administration is under a significant amount of political pressure as a result of this situation. A major disruption in the supply chain is the last thing any administration wants to deal with as they head into an election year. The current economic climate is already fragile due to inflation, and the previous administration did not want to deal with such a situation. The government runs the risk of alienating a significant portion of their voter base, which includes union members and blue-collar workers, if it takes a position that is too strongly aligned with the corporations or intervenes to put an end to the strike. Additionally, the announcement made by Daggett poses a challenge not only to the shipping companies but also to the entire political system, which has, for many years, relied on the labor force without adequately compensating them or acknowledging the significance of their contributions. In the event that this strike becomes more severe, we may observe repercussions that spread across industries, across borders, and even into the realm of politics. To what conclusion can we draw from this? We are currently dealing with a powerful union leader who is threatening to bring the economy to its knees, a government that is unsure of how to respond, and millions of workers who may finally be coming to terms with the true power that they possess. The announcement that Harold Daggett made has caused a tremor to be felt all over the world, and in the weeks to come, we will see how far-reaching the consequences may extend. Thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on this labor dispute? Do you think Daggett is right to wield this much power, or is there a middle ground that should be found before the economy suffers even more? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story.